Hello and welcome to Joy News Interactive with me, Benis Abu Bedu. This show is live on the Joy News channel on Multi-TV, DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 144. You can get onto our Facebook page right now. We've posted the various issues there. Kindly find them and drop your comments in the comment section. Don't forget, we are also very interactive on Twitter. Well, today on the show, we'll have Kobe Spike Nkrumah teach us how to track lost phones. I'm sure you'd be very concerned. You should be concerned, and I'll tell you my personal experience with tracking a phone that was stolen. And well, let's start off this way, and for many people this will be a great way to start the midweek with what people say is a backtrack by the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Remember the build up to the 2016 general elections, then candidate Bawumia chastised the Mahama-led government's continuous borrowing, warning that the country's debt in dollar terms would reach as much as $42 billion by the end of December 2016. Now, he was speaking at a lecture on the theme, The State of the Ghanaian Economy, a Foundation of Concrete or Straw. Now, Dr. Bawumia accused the government at the time of failing to put to good use the huge loans it had contracted. Fast forward 2017, he's now the vice president. Now, he says no government can operate without borrowing, promising that the current administration would responsibly use loans contracted. Now, he explains, and I quote, "A lot of people misunderstand when we say that we are going to be responsible. It doesn't mean we will not borrow money," end quote. Do you agree with those who say this is a backtrack, or for you, it actually, doesn't mean the same thing? He says, "I'll be responsible," and the other, well, he's accusing the other people of not being responsible. So we'll pick up your comments on that now. On Facebook, Edwin Mockley said, well, they lied their way into power, and the reality is glaring at them like a ghost now. And he thinks that they didn't treat the people of Ghana right and they were lying. Paul Owusu Boateng says, "The borrowing is not my problem. How it will be used is what's to be considered. And the previous government borrowed and spent among themselves." That's an accusation here. We cannot independently verify that. So he says, let's wait and see what this government has to offer on borrowings. And Michael Asari says, of course, no government, especially in our part of the world, can carry out meaningful development without borrowing from other countries. And he refers to those other countries as endowed countries. And he says the most important thing is to ensure that the government borrows responsibly and also uses the funds for the intended purpose for which it was borrowed. So what do you think? I mean, from the comments I've taken so far, some think, well, you cannot refer to this as a backtrack because he's promising to be responsible with the money. And this one says, "You preach virtue and practice vice. Only God will vindicate Mahama and his government. No wonder Ghanaians are getting fed up with the MPP in just a few months of assumption of office." Marking Africia, well, he wants to speak on behalf of all Ghanaians. I don't know if he's speaking what you feel exactly. Isaac Isaac Ibrahim says, "This man lacks principle. Reality check will haunt him till he apologizes to innocent souls he attacked on issues of borrowing." He thinks he wasn't truthful and, well, he deceived the people of Ghana. Discerning Ghanaians are keenly watching and will take the bull by its horn soon. And Rafsati Salam says, "Why wouldn't they borrow when they don't know how to manage the resources they have? This NPP cannot rule the country. Mismanagement and corruption on their part. Their dream is to be president. Now, well, they have it and they're complaining." Interesting comments over here. But let's stay with the Akufo-Addo-led government, because the Indian government has donated $1 million to this government for the renovation of the Flagstaff house. Now, remember, it was the Indians who helped us put up that magnificent structure. And, well, while some say it's not bad for them to help renovate a structure they put up, others think it's a bad idea and also amounts to, receiving aid from a foreign country. And Moses Bire says, "Come on, renovation, we need assistance, and we continue to say we are independent." And well, he thinks that this is a sign that we actually aren't independent. Halil Ahmed says that the Flagstaff House need renovation. Well, we haven't been given the details as to what exactly is wrong with the Flagstaff House for which renovation has to be done. We'll get you those details. But he says, I think there are more strings to this $1 million than we know. No country on earth will use its taxpayers' money to renovate another country's luxurious presidential palace for free. There are more poor people in India than in Ghana. That's what he claims. Well, says this may be free, but in return, it will open more back doors to our economy for Indian businessmen. That's what he believes. Ishmael Oboy laughs and says, you promised to give $1 million to every constituency, but could not raise same for the renovation of the Flagstaff House. Well, Ishmael, I'm not sure the president requested. It was actually a donation from the Indian government as they celebrated their 70th independence. So not to say the president went out to borrow or to ask for the money. And Alfred Akoka says, Nana's free education is really needed in Ghana. I can't believe some people think that low. He says, it's clearly written, gift from India. And yet some people are there talking not so smart things. Says if someone gives you a gift, doesn't mean you are poor. Ishura Lovia says, what donation? This is a loan. She doesn't believe in this gift business. She says India is even suffering. Okay, and I'm really disappointed in our leaders. David K. Sakite says, I don't think this country will be better. Okay, he thinks that God should use his one hand to throw a bomb and scatter everybody, excluding Jackie Appiah and some 3 fine girls. Okay, so that you can start a new generation. That's what David is actually wishing for here. Well, Ni Ahene Nunu says, who informed the Indian government that the Flagstaff House needs renovation? That's a good one. Good question there. Says, kindly return the money because the Indian government cannot even afford oxygen for its babies. Don't you watch or listen to international news? I'm sure it's asking the president that question. And Philip Ahuma says, Massa, we need money to develop this country, and you're talking about renovation of the Flagstaff House. How will renovation of the Flagstaff House put food on table for the poor man? How will it create a job? How will it create jobs for the youth? How will it enhance national development? Please, let's channel this money into supporting developmental works rather than unprofitable renovation. That's what he chooses to call it. And Paulo Wusubuatin says, look at this. There are a lot of places in India where there's poverty and hunger. And look at what this Indian government has done. Anyway, we thank you for your gift. Safo Daniel says, jealousy pani, to say that this is real jealousy. Your incompetent NDC government was not attractive to get donations, especially when you didn't ask for it, or the government shouldn't receive donations. He's asking all those who are, who have issues with this particular one. And Alfred Mensah says, our whole president laughing and happy while he receives $1 million. So why can't a deputy minister or chief of staff ask to receive it? Hey guys, this is a donation. This is a donation to the people of Ghana from the Indian government. They are 70 years and they want to help us, just to renovate our Flagstaff House. So yeah. William Iron Tete says, let this not disrupt you from the fact that we Ghanaians are winning the fight against illegal mining because our water bodies are taking shape. We are winning. Okay, so someone thinks, you know what, enough of this gift business. Let's bring our minds home. We are winning the fight against illegal mining. Now, away from that, the opposition National Democratic Congress has replied musician Joel Aka. Earlier this week, the musician accused the party of neglecting him when he took ill. Now, I'm sure he sang the NDC's anthem, Arise, Arise, so Ghana, the song well. A communications officer for the NDC, Solomon Nkansa, admits that while the party may have neglected veteran high-life musician Joel Aka, it's not deliberate. According to him, the musician feels neglected because the party's immediate focus is to reorganize itself to come back to power. But is this enough justification for the neglect? Well, let's hear what some of you have to say about that on social media, and we'll quickly pick your comments. For those of you who don't know what Joel Aka looks like, that's him. Yeah, that's the man. And apparently he's been sick for some time now, for about 10 years, and he says it's been really tough on him. Philip Ahuma says, how does this issue concern the ordinary Ghanaian? That this is a problem arising between a political party and a musician. He says you and I were not there when they were signing any contract. Why then should we be bothered about breach of contracts? Let the two parties resolve their problems. Or better still, the court is there, well, to vindicate him. Lawson Blaking says, you were paid for the song and your services. What else do you want them to do? Did the party assure you or any contract to support you throughout your life? Give us a break. You have family members and friends. Well, you may call this a hard or strong-worded message to Joel Aka from Lawson Blaking. Jerry Kwabna says, it comes down to bad management of artists in this country. Joel is a musician and that's his profession. He shouldn't have done such a nice song for the party. Well, he goes on and on, at no charge. He should have sold it. The NDC was just throwing money around. They would have bought it at a high price. He says it serves as a caution to upcoming artists. Okay, Kojo Bennett says, what does Joel Aka expect from a disorganized party? Also, does he expect to enjoy an immortal cake? That's his question is asking. You did something for your party, surely you were paid. And Isaac Mensah said, when it's your mouth, it's cool, no words out, but now it's in your mouth. Okay, I don't get this message really. Abraham Smith says, play your cards well and stop following the NDC. He's actually addressing the musician here. They have nothing better for you. Daniel Governor says, Ghanaians should wise up. Ghanaian politicians are just selfish, and he goes on and on about that. Okay, so as you know, on Wednesdays we bring you tech trends, and today Kobe Nkrumah, also known as Spiky, is here to tell you how you can track your phone when it gets missing. You don't want to miss this. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Joy News Interactive. It's now time for tech trends, and Spiky is here to tell us what to do if someone picks up your phone, like it happened to me a few months ago. Spiky,
Hi.
What do we do?
Well, I learned this from experience. Everyone who knows me knows I've lost my phones a couple of times, but I got them back. So
You got them back?
Yeah, I got them back.
Okay.
Every phone, every smartphone comes with its location tracking system, and most of the time it's on, some of the time it's off. Well, if you want to be able to track your phone, it needs to be on for you to be able to track it. So what happened was that I put my phone on my car before I got into the car, and I drove off, and it fell, and someone picked it. Luckily, I went on my computer, and then I logged into play.google.com. That's for your Play Store.
Okay, play.google.com.
Play.google.com. So when you log into play.google.com, you go to Android Device Manager. By the way, this is for Android devices. I'll tell you how to do it with the Apple devices too. So I went to the Android Device Manager, which asked me for my password, and I logged in. And right after logging in, it took me to Find My Device. So with Find My Device, you have a map which locates where your phone is. So this phone in my hand is the one that I'm purporting to be missing. So I'll give you the phone.
Okay,
You hide it.
Hide it.
Then, according to the location, I can find it here on Fanofa Street, which is where we are.
Okay.
And yeah, it's here, but then I don't know where exactly it is. So you can hit it and ask it to play a sound. So it will connect to the phone over the internet and then start playing the sound. So for me, what happened was that I knew the location of the phone, and I went around looking for the phone.
Okay.
And lucky for me, so as you can see, the phone has started ringing.
So that's actually the alert you sent.
Yes.
So it means that you have to be working with your laptop.
Well, you have
with your laptop or a device that you're using to track the phone.
Yes, so I have a backup device, and I was going around listening for it.
Okay.
Lucky for me, unlucky for me, I couldn't hear the sound.
Okay.
So I'll stop it ringing now.
Okay.
I couldn't hear it ringing, but I knew the exact area it was. And you'd be surprised the person who had the phone was trying to turn it off because it kept ringing and ringing and ringing. So a person came out, and my friends and I were walking around, and then she said in Ga that she's looking for someone who can turn off a phone for her. And I'm like, why? She says it's because it's been making noise. She comes to me, and it was my phone.
Oh my goodness. This is a very rare occurrence. I think you should have some special grace to have found your phone that way. Okay, but let me share my story with you.
Sure.
My phone was picked from my room. And I actually saw the person picking it, but I mean, I was asleep, so it was very difficult to process what had happened exactly. So immediately I went onto my laptop because I use an iPhone. I went to find my iPhone, and then I sent an alert. I sent the ring, alert, and I sent a message alert, and I also blocked the phone from being flashed.
Yes,
That's the
from being
term.
stolen.
I saw the phone. The person actually took it to Circle. And if you're in Ghana, you know what it means when your missing phone gets to Circle. It's a done deal. And I got the location, but I didn't know what to do. So I still haven't found that phone till now.
Well, in my case, I went to the police because I needed assistance. But then I was asked to wait for the detective. And I knew if it had gone on for too long, the phone would have run out of battery and it would have gone off. So it's, you know, it's a good thing to do it as soon as possible. You need to have a password on your phone, and if you don't have internet, you can't track your phone. So, well, in your case, an iPhone cannot be restored when you have the iCloud security activated, Find My iPhone activated. So, what you can do is, well, you were asleep, so I can't really say, but you could have tracked it, you could have followed it to Circle and gone looking for it.
I could have gone there.
Well, you could have gone
I'm sure I'd have gotten the beating of my life. Anyway, anyway, but someone is asking on social media, on Facebook to be specific, because we put it out there. Someone says, look, if it's Ghana, forget it. All people need is an IME repairer and the ROM firmware of the phone model. They'll flash it and your phone is lost forever.
That's why you need to do it as soon as possible.
So wait, so if I do it as soon as possible, my phone is stolen now and I send an alert now, nobody can use an IME repairer to flash it?
To flash your phone, luckily for now, we have certain features on Android phones like the FRP lock, which prevents people from flashing your phone. But I mean, anytime you try to find a way to block thieves, they also find a way to bypass it. So it's just, you need to be very quick about it. There's also an app called Pray that prevents people from quickly resetting your phone. So let's say in here someone picks up your phone, the person can't reset the phone or turn it off when the lock screen is on. With Pray. Pray, you can get Pray from the App Store or the Play Store.
P-R-E.
P-R-E-Y.
P-R-E-Y.
Yes,
Pray, please. If you are someone who has lost your phone a couple of times, please get Pray and save your phone. Sure.
So it allows you to track your phone like as quickly as possible, the same way the Android device manager does. Lets it ring and all that. And then, well, it'll prevent you. There are more advanced software, but those require extensive, and so you have to pay for them too.
Okay, so you advise that if this method doesn't work, you can go a step further.
Look for software that would really, But once again, the best thing to do is do it as quickly as possible so the person doesn't turn it off, doesn't go and use an IMEI repairer or flash it. And then so use it.
Spikey, what happens in my case? The phone was picked, I sent the alert, I can't find the phone. The person hasn't put it on again. So where's the phone?
Your battery is probably in someone else's phone. Your screen is on someone else's phone. They probably sell it for scrap because iCloud, there's still no 100% way of resetting iCloud devices yet. So your phone is probably scrap right now.
Oof. Anyways, I prefer it that way. Scrap, no one is using it because that phone was expensive, man. Anyway, Dilton Everett says if tracking a phone has nothing to do with the IMEI, and we keep hearing the IMEI, then forget because it can easily be flashed and a new ROM will make it untraceable. Someone says, how do I interpret IMEI in order to help me track my missing Infinix Hot 2?
Our telcos should help us track IMEI because your phone IMEI is unique. But like I said, everyone can change the IMEI. It's against the rules, but people don't do it. But I don't think a lot of thieves know how to do these stuff. So once you lose your phone, you should report it to the telcos. Although I've tried it a couple of times, it didn't work. And they're supposed to blacklist that IMEI from connecting to the networks. So what happens is
becomes useless.
It becomes useless.
Well, so if I lose it, then no one gets to use it anyway. Anyway, I mean, there are a lot of comments there for you, Kobe, but I think that would have to redirect people to your personal Facebook page so they can get the specific answers they need to be able to trace their phones. But thank you so much for coming to Spiky. I can't wait for next week Wednesday. I always look forward to it because at least I get to have someone join me here for Joy News Interactive. Thank you very much for helping us track our phones. Okay, that's your phone. Thank you very much. All right, so that was Spiky helping us to track our phones. Just in case you want some details, you can find him on Facebook. His name is Kobe Spike Nkrumah. He's very interactive. That'll be all for this edition of Joy News Interactive. My name is Benis Abu Bedu from the entire team. We wish you the very best of the day. I'll be back at 12 with Midday News.